Hey out there YouTube, Kyler here. Just wanted to make a video to talk about my first week post-op from my breast reduction. I did not have top surgery. I opted to go with just a standard reduction first. I think I've mentioned in a couple other videos the reason that I chose to go this route, but I'll recap them here. First off, cost. A breast reduction for me was covered under my insurance pretty much 100%. I've had a couple copays, a couple other, incidentals and whatnot, but nothing compared to what the out-of-pocket expense would have been for a for top surgery. That's the first reason. Second reason is because I feel like I'm emotionally not ready for top surgery just yet. It's hard for me. I am a larger guy, so it means I have pretty big boobs. So my reduction falls under medical necessity. I mean, for several reasons, from chafing to the kind of indentation between your shoulders that make you look like you have huge traps, but you really don't. The pendulous, whatever they want to call it, reasons, it all lines up with what insurance companies will deem medically necessary for a reduction procedure to take place. Thirdly, through a reduction, I am able to bind in a more appropriate fashion. I've seen lots of videos on here guys have made about binding and binding for large-chested guys. And when I say large-chested, I don't mean you're a D. I don't mean you're a C. I mean you're like double D, E, F. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So they're talking about using, one compression vest and then a shorter compression vest over that, or they've got several means, all of which seem kind of compromising for you in a couple ways. I don't feel that you should ever bind so tightly that you can't take a deep breath, and I feel like even people who are smaller tend to want to do that because they want that flat appearance, but it's even harder for us people, for us guys who are bigger, to get that really flat frontal appearance. So we're more likely to go to the extremes that exceed our safety a little bit, and I didn't want to do that. And so now with this let's see, I've gone from, I'm about double D, triple D to I'm a C now. I think I'm a C post-op here. I'm only 8 days out, so I'm a week and a day. Most of the swelling has gone down. I have been to see my surgeon 3 times since the surgery. I went to see him the day after, the Tuesday after, and then the Thursday or Friday, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and then Monday, which was yesterday, which was pretty interesting, that visit. So the procedure basically when you have a reduction is it's like an anchor. So they cut around your areola and down and then out underneath both sides, okay? So then they cut out all the breast tissue that they don't want, retaining that areola on like a pedicle stalk, and then they reattach it and then suture the sides down, sans all the breast tissue that was removed on either side. So it's where you get the anchor. Same thing as far as top surgery is concerned. FTM top surgery, you still have drains, you still have the general same aftercare. Some of the same issues that you can face. One that I'm dealing with now, which is my surgeon is worried about nipple death. I went in yesterday and my right side is doing great, doing really good, but he noticed some issues with the left side, and he took a needle, like I'm lying out on the table, and he takes a needle and he just sticks it in there and he gets blood, and he's like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that the blood supply was adequate there. Looked like it was a little dark, and I was a little concerned, and he does this little chipping away as he usually does to make sure that he gets all the gross matter, healing process off so that he can see what's going on underneath, checking out the healing process. So he did all that. He poked it, which I felt, and he was surprised that I felt it, but I did. He pokes around some more, so he's hurting me at this point. He pokes it again with a needle. I didn't like this very much, but the greatest thing that he did was taking out the drains. That was all I really wanted. That's what I went for. I was like, please take these out. I think I was ready for the drains to be gone by about the 4th day. I was pretty through with drains. There was nothing in them. Nothing was really happening anymore with them. At first, it was a bit of a laborious endeavor with regard to the drains. I had to empty them twice a day. They would fill up, and you have to empty them, and you have to see how much fluid is coming out. And the whole idea, I guess, behind that is to not allow that fluid to collect in your chest cavity, but yet to have it a way to come out. So they put these Kindle Pratt or Kindle something drains on either side, so they act as kind of like a vacuum, to allow the fluid to come out. So worked out pretty good. I got those out on yesterday's visit, and overall, I'm happy with the procedure. I'm happy with the size that I think I'm going to end up being. And I feel like right away, the first thing I felt, was no more back pain. Like, no more pain when I bend over, no more pain from sleeping, no more pain from prolonged standing, which is what I had before. So all of that is great, and I think is going to promote my overall health, because my goal, I've got a goal, is to go from, I think I'm about 225 now, down to 175, 180. I'll be happy, in the next 3 months. That's the goal. I've already got another half marathon picked out that I want to do. We want to do Vancouver in May, but I want to do several other races between now and then. And as soon as I'm cleared to go back to running, everything will be all good. So, a couple other things happened in the last week. I also went today for my first visit with my doctor who's going to be prescribing my testosterone. I had my first visit with him. But I think I'm going to have to split this into 2 videos because I'm already running up on the time as I see the counter there. So I'll probably put that off into the next video. Alright, so yeah, I talked about my doctor. My doctor was Chester Haberback in North Bethesda, Maryland. Don't even ask me about his name again. I had to go with who would accept my insurance. So it wasn't really a labor of love with regard to the picking. I just wanted to pick somebody qualified who is double certified, both the American plastic surgeons and aesthetic plastic surgeons. So I wanted to have both of those. I ideally thought I would go to Beverly Fisher up in Timonium, but she doesn't take insurance, and I can go into a senseless rant on insurance, but rather than bore you with that in this part, I'll maybe save that for part 2 as well.